Okay, we have a 1,500 point battle report for you today. I've got my Necrons, and I'm facing another Necron army, except this one's allied with Grey Knights. Look at these dirty Grey Knights. How dare they ally themselves with the great evil in the universe, but they have no qualms about that. 2 combat squatted units of strike squads, an Inquisitor somewhere in that vehicle, 3 Annihilation Barges, pretty awesome. Command Barge with a Lord on there, War Scythe, no other equipment, 10 Scarabs, 2 Night Scythes over there with 2 minimum squad units of 5 warriors each, and I have a Night Scythe with 10 Immortals. I have my Monolith, 6 Wraiths and a Destroyer Lord, 3 Heavy Destroyers, only 3 Scarabs, 10 Warriors, Annihilation Barge, and a Doomsday Ark of Failure. And we're fighting over 1 objective each. 1 objective's here, Emperor's Will. 1 objective's there, Emperor's Will. We haven't rolled for night fighting yet, but we're going to see if I can steal initiative, or if my opponent wants to. Do you want to try to steal initiative? Yeah, on a 6+, he'll try to steal initiative.
What about night fighting?
Yeah, we'll roll for it in a second. Let's just see if he can steal initiative. No, he does not steal initiative. And do you want to roll night fighting? On a 4+, it'll be night fighting. No night fighting to start. Okay, we're off to the races. My Necrons are going first. Okay, so rounding up bottom of turn 1 for the Necrons. Pretty good turn. These 3 guys, Heavy Destroyers, got those awesome guns, managed to get in there, get a penetration through, and exploded that guy, one of the Annihilation Barges. Over here, combination of shooting from this guy and from my Doomsday Ark. Blew away most of this unit, but just left 1 of them surviving. So that's still very dangerous, because even one of those guys could kill one of those vehicles. But we did get first blood. These guys flew over here and moved up this way. Ran and moved up over there. These guys just moved up, couldn't shoot at anything. The big guy here fired his ordnance at that guy and 2 of his Gauss guns, but just got 1 glance through. And tried to fire this extra Gauss gun, because they can fire independently, into this guy, but got nothing through there. And that was it. So we're on to top of turn 1 for the other Necron, the allied Necron and Grey Knight army. Okay, so rounding up top of turn 1, oopsie, for the allied Necrons. What did they manage to do? Sorry, I'm getting really shaky here. Let me try to de-shake it. So what happened here, those guys popped out. All of his side cannons fired into here, but he couldn't get any Rens. He couldn't quite get any Rens. I did have a cover save against some of the shots. Tons of shooting from that one and that one. A lot of hits into this unit. Blew away 1 of my Wraiths, killed another Wraith down to 1 wound, but otherwise didn't hurt me too much. This guy flew over here and went flat out onto this part of the board. So he's just chilling over here. He's ready to go assault anything there. I've really got to deal with that guy. Pretty interesting stuff. And this Scarab over here, brave little Scarab, came up, tried to charge into my Scarabs, couldn't get the 10 inches necessary even with the fleet, but it was worth a try there. So it is on to my turn 2. We're going to see if my flyer shows up with my Immortals. On a 3+, it does, on a 6. Immortals in the Night Scythe are coming. Okay, just rounding up this middle of the bottom of turn 2, because there are some combat starting. This thing flew over here, unloaded these guys. They just decided to obliterate that Scarab. And I tried to fire this gun over here, but didn't get a lot of hits and couldn't do anything to that vehicle. Scarabs moved up and they charged that barge, so they're going to be going after that barge. These guys separated from the Lord, flew over here, ran a couple inches. They're hiding behind that impassable terrain. My Lord separated out and actually successfully charged this thing. These guys moved over here, tried to put, they got 1 glance on him, but it's not going to matter probably in the grand scheme of things. They fired in there, got a penetration through, but only blew away his crappy gun on the bottom there. So that was that. This thing fired, totally whiffed off, killed 1 guy, but then didn't even hurt the vehicle. And then the regular small guns didn't kill anybody, unfortunately for me. And that was pretty much it. This thing was reduced to firing at this guy because I couldn't see much. I mean, there was some I could see, but that vehicle's blocking line of sight, that transport to a lot of the dudes out there, so it wouldn't have been worth it yet. So I'm going to hold on to that for a turn. Hopefully things will go well over here. We'll see. So back in a bit with those combats. So rounding up those combats. No surprise over here, they annihilated that barge. Annihilation Barge was annihilated by the armor-eating Scarabs. Over here, total gong show. My Lord is a total failure. Mind Shackles failed against this guy. On top of that, I only got 1 wound on him. He got a wound on me. How humiliating is that, eh? So that is that, but it is over to bottom of turn 2. We're going to see if your flyers show up in a little bit. So, do you want to roll it? Yeah. Yeah, I might as well do them together. Nice, they both show up. Now that's going to hurt me good. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, rounding up bottom of turn 2 for the allied Necrons. Flyers showed up, started wreaking havoc. First off, this guy flew over, did the War Scythe attacks on my Lord, put me down to 1 wound. Then this thing fired, got I think 6 or 7 hits. wounded me 6 or 7 times. I failed it, I died, but I stood up afterwards. I stood up on a 4+. I rolled that 4, thank goodness for that orb. Over here, some shooting from a lot of stuff here. That these guys, those guys, that vehicle, killed 3 of these Immortals only. They made their leadership, and 2 of them actually stood up. This guy over here blasted into me, penetration, single penetration. I decided not to jink, and it only, it immobilized me. So unfortunately, I'm going maximum speed now, because I went 24 last turn. I'm going to be going 36 every turn now. Other than that, all the Psy cannons, again, didn't move this round, just the guys moved around them, and they could not get a rend on me, so I just lucked out with my, oh no, sorry, 1 rend did get through. 1 rend got through, but he only rolled high enough to glance me, so I'm down to 3 hull points now. So that's what happened over there. So pretty interesting battle still heating up here. Back in a bit. Just a quick little thing to add. I forgot to mention, we didn't actually go to the assault phase yet. He managed to charge in with his chariot. He's going to try to rip up my guys. Man, this is probably going to hurt. We already did Hammer of Wrath. He couldn't kill anybody with Hammer of Wrath, but he's going to get his War Scythe attacks. Pretty awesome there. Okay, so what happened, he killed 2 of my guys. I got 2 wounds on him, but he passed them both with his awesome 2+ armor, because he's on the chariot there. And I lost combat, but I stuck it out with an 8. So thank goodness we stuck it out. We're not locked in combat, though, because chariots are never locked in combat. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from there. Okay, so we do have some combat happening here. This is the middle of top of turn 3. Combat happening here. 1 Wraith goes down. We actually decided, maybe it was a risk, but I decided to multi-charge. So as a result of all the extra shots, they blew away one of my Wraiths, and I'm going to be losing my attacks here. That might have been a really dangerous move. We'll see. Over here, those guys easily made it in against that Annihilation Barge. Over here, my lord, interesting thing happened. So this thing fired at that vehicle, blew up the vehicle. This guy disembarked, hidden behind there. So I had flown these guys on here. They didn't fail dangerous terrain. They were going to blow away that lord, but they couldn't see him because he was behind that rock. So I had some tough decisions to make. I decided to fire these guys and these guys, wiped out a unit of warriors. And these guys over here decided, instead of wiping out the warriors, which would have been easy with their AP4, they decided to shoot at the lord. He was down at 2 wounds, no longer a 2+ armor. And we killed him, and he didn't stand up. In the meantime, my lord had moved up only 6 inches to this area, and he had saved his jump pack. So once all this stuff died, there was nothing to charge except those guys. I needed an 11 inches, and I made it because I re-rolled with the jump pack. I got a 6 and 5 on the re-roll. How lucky is that? So this is a huge step that this lord didn't reanimate. That's going to really help me a lot. In the meantime, this thing tried to fire at some guys over there, scattered away. This thing hasn't done very much all game. It keeps scattering away a lot. Over here, though, big shot from the Monolith, nuked an entire unit of 5 guys, clipped 2 more guys on one unit, clipped 2 more guys in another unit. So that's why maybe that's why I was so emboldened to charge these guys in and just go for it. This might hurt me, though, because there's so many attacks coming after me. And that is it. We're going to see what happens with all these crazy combats. Okay, so rounding up those combats. Over here, total gong show. My lord whiffed all of his attacks. Oh, I forgot my Hammer of Wrath. Would that have done anything? No, it didn't do anything anyway. Okay, so total whiff there. They actually got some hits in on me, and they got 1 wound through on me. Needed a 6, but I passed my armor save. Thank goodness. How humiliating would that be, eh? And then these 3 guys charged in, of course, annihilated that barge. Didn't explode it this time, just wrecked it. And over here, combat was, yeah, it wasn't great. I lost by 1. I killed 1. They killed 1 Wraith instantly with a force weapon, so that was pretty impressive for them. And otherwise, we're just going to continue combat there because they're fearless. And that is pretty much it. So on to bottom of turn 3. Okay, so rounding up this turn. What happened here? Gong show combat. Again, I miss all my attacks. These guys get a wound through despite my toughness 6, but thank God I made my save. How humiliating over here, eh? Turn after turn. This guy flew over here. This is the only thing he could shoot at. He managed to get a single glance through, so I'm down to 3 hull points because the Doomsday Ark has 4 of them. This guy over here obliterated those 3 heavy destroyers. Got 6 wounds. I failed 3 instead of 2, so they just were cooked over there. This thing, tank shocked over here. We made our leadership, though, so we just moved away a little bit. And he tries to snap fire in here. Got 1 hit, but we made our armor save. Over here, combat was a disaster for the Wraiths. Man, these guys, they caused 6 wounds on me, but I failed 4 of the 3 pluses, so 2 of them died instantly. 1 guy got, I think, 2 saves on these guys. Didn't run anybody, but they made their armor saves. So those guys loaded into the vehicle, and there's 2 dudes inside there. And that is about it. So we're on to my Knight Scythe has to show up because he went off the board last round, so he's going to be back. And we're going to see what happens in a bit. Rounding up this top of turn 4. My guy flew on over here, zodded into the far vehicle, just took off 1 hull point off of him, though, and made it so that he... What happened to this guy? Oh, he can't shoot. I just rolled a 1 on the table, so just, he'll be snap firing, but I suspect he's going to fly off the board anyways. These guys here tried to rapid fire the vehicle that was closer. No real luck, though. Got no glances, or maybe 1 or 2, and then this guy managed to finally kill him off, needing the 6s, but having the rerolls obliterated that guy. That guy crashed literally down here somewhere. Over here, in my shooting phase, these guys moved up and they decided to rapid fire that vehicle. They lowered it down to 1 hull point. but eventually the shooting from these two side guns on the Monolith finally got that last hull point off that thing. In the meantime, over here, combat was less of a gong show. My Lord finally killed 2 guys. Did take a wound in return, but he made his 2+ save, and those guys did not run away, but nobody reanimated. These guys moved up over here. I decided they weren't going to charge there because we killed them in the shooting phase. They charged into this vehicle, exploded it. Those guys survived, though. I took a wound. Nobody got wounded here. In this combat, these guys piled in, but by some dumb luck, they didn't kill my Wraith. My Wraith is down to 1 wound, and he held out. He didn't kill anybody, but he held out for this round, so that's really helpful. And that is going to be it. So we're on to bottom of turn 4 coming right up. So bottom of turn 4, what ended up happening? This guy flew all the way over here, but didn't fly off the board. Interesting choice. Over here, these guys shot and charged me. The shooting didn't actually do anything except put 1 wound in me. And he couldn't wound any of my guys in combat because the only guy that got a wound was the guy with the Scythe, so I got a save and I made it. So we actually attacked him back, but we didn't kill anybody. So total gong show over here. Over here, another gong show. This time I was hoping that they would wipe out my 1 wound Wraith so I could blast him with this thing. But actually, the same luck that I had last round, my opponent got this round, and he didn't actually kill me, and I killed only 1 guy. So, are they fearless though, those guys?
No, they're not.
Oh, so we might have to roll to see if they run away, right? Because I did win combat by 1. I killed 1, you did no wounds, right? So, yeah, we'll come back in a second. Okay, so actually, after rolling the leadership, these guys were stubborn 10. They stuck around. These guys were not stubborn. They actually rolled like 2 5s, and they're running away 12 inches. Unbelievable. So a stroke of luck for me. That means I'm going to get a shot at those guys with my Monolith. So they may have cover, though. We'll see what happens. So pretty lucky over there for me. Back in a bit. Turn 5 coming up.
It's the last 5.
Yeah, it's bottom of turn 5. So what happened on my top of turn 5? Combat continued here. We killed that 1 Justicard, tried to hammer hand and rolled double 6s, so he died instantly. This guy couldn't kill me. I couldn't kill him. Gong show there. Over here, gong show combat. They killed 1 of my bases, but I killed 1 of his dudes. Over here, we moved up and ran a few inches. I think we're within 3 of that objective. My Lord finally cleaned those guys up, killed 2 of them, and ran them down, and moved into line breaker range. This thing had nothing to do, so it flew up and then went flat out 6 inches. These guys they collected themselves over here on this objective. They also not rapid fire, but they shot into here. Couldn't do anything to him. These side guns shot into here, couldn't do anything to him. This thing fired in, only got 1 penetration, which just rolled a 1 on it. So he's down to 1 hull point now, but he's still ticking. And that is pretty much it. So it's bottom of turn 5 coming up here. Okay, so pretty fast turns now. This combat over here went well for me. I insta-killed that guy. That guy rallied and shot into here with Stormbolter, but no luck. This guy, no luck in killing me, and I couldn't kill him either. This thing decided again not to fly off the board and just went in there. And we're going to see if the game ends on a 1 or 2. The game will end. Nope, game continues. The pain continues. All right, so my flyer's coming back on the board. Okay, so we actually ended it. We did the entirety of turn 6 really quickly. What happened? I blew up that thing. Blew up that 1 guy, and then combat, it was actually two combats, but the Wraith finally killed that 1 guy, and that was it. So we managed to sweep across the board into this zone here, and that's it. But good game there. Thank you. Good close game. Thank you so much. Yeah.